eighths number.
Oh, I know how to do this one.
Do you know why?
No, you do not. In a way, I do.
In a way, that's
Well, yes, I actually
that
know
could not
why.
be the way that she.
Yeah.
Stand up.
All right. 2 1/5 times 1 7/8. What does this problem really mean? What is this problem really asking me to do? 2 1/5 times 1 7/8. What is it really asking me to do?
Okay. It means 2 1/5 group of 1 7/8.
Good. 2 1/5 groups of 1 7/8. Or it means,
Can I answer this one too? Just get everybody in.
or it means what?
Oh my gosh.
Good. 1 7/8 of 2 1/5. All right, so is my number going to be more than 2 or less than 2? Is my answer going to be more than 2 or less than 2? No, I have lots of hands up. More than 2 or less than 2?
Less than 2.
Why? I do want to know.
He doesn't know. Oh my gosh, the ball just slipped out of my hand.
Because you're taking what you're finding. Well, you're finding 1 7. Well, you're finding 2 1/5 of 1 7/8, which is gonna be. It's gonna come out less than 2 because I'm taking more away than you.
So I have 2 1/5, and I want to find what is 1 7/8 of 2 1/5. So do I have one whole group of 2 1/5? And then I still have 7/8 more of 2 1/5. So is my answer less than 2 or more than 2? Yes, Sydney.
Like, cause I was trying to do this last night, but I didn't really think it was right. But like, instead of changing it into a mixed number, I just multiplied. Like I would multiply 2 and 1. Like, did you do that?
Okay, so here you go. If you multiply 2 times 1, you'd also have to multiply 2 times 7/8, which is 14/8, and 2 times 1 is 2. And then you would also have to multiply 1/5 times 1, which is 1/5, and then 1/5 times 7/8, which is 7/40, and then find a common denominator between 5/8 and 40, and then add them all together.
I got that. That makes it
Okay,
so much
because
more
I'm not just doing 2 times 1, and I'm not just doing 2 times 7/8. I'm doing 2 1/5, which is one number. I can't split those up. And 1 7/8, which is one number. I can't just take them apart and say I'm only going to multiply one of the things.
No, like I was like doing 2 times 1, and I would multiply 1/5 and 7/8.
Right,
Okay.
you can't do that.
But you can't do that
Okay.
because
Sydney, think about it this way. If you say 1 7/8, right, you're having 1 and, which is plus, 7/8. That's the whole amount that you're looking at. Yeah. If you think about it, if you have 1 7/8, okay, how many eighths is that? 8/8 plus 7/8. Do you see what I mean? So then you have, if you're just adding them, do you remember, go back to when we were adding fractions, what you'd have is 15/8. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you'd have to multiply that by 2 plus 1/5. So you'd have to make it 10/5. Do you see what I mean? Then add it, then multiply them together. But that's the whole quantity. It's like having $1 and a quarter. You can't just multiply the dollar and not without the quarter. Do you know what I mean? Alex.
I get the dollar.
Sorry, I was trying to make a real life.
Couldn't you do like when we're adding taking 1/5 times 7/8 and then 2 times you couldn't do that 2 times 1?
You could if you wanted to spend,
well,
3 more minutes on these problems.
and you can't just say I'm going to multiply the whole numbers and then multiply the fractions. That's not going to give you your answer because I'm not just multiplying 2 times 1. I'm also doing the 7/8 2 whole times. And I'm also doing the 1/5 one time plus the 7/8 times. I'm not doing just 2 times 1, 1/5 times 7/8. Okay? It's like if I were going to change these into decimals, which you know you would never do, but this would be 2.2 and 1.875.
875.
Okay. No. We're not going to put it into a decimal. But if I were multiplying these two numbers, if I was doing 2 times 2 and 2/10 times 1 and 875,000, would you tell me that I'm going to do 2 times 1 and then 0.2 times 8.875? No. But aren't these numbers equivalent to those numbers?
Yes.
So if you wouldn't break up this, why are you breaking up this?
No.
No.
I can see how it looks more simple. I can see that. I can appreciate that. I'm sorry, Alex.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could not and then get wrong answers, but I think we'd rather do the correct thing. So I have 2 and 1/5 and times 1 and 7/8. And now if you wanted to be complicated and take 10 minutes to do this problem, you could break them into different pieces and then get common denominators and then add those all together. But how could I make my life a little simpler? What could I do with 2 and 1/5 and 1 and 7/8 to combine them so that I see that it's really one number?
You can turn them into improper fractions.
Okay.
Why? Are you gonna ask why?
Tell me how to turn them into improper fractions.
You do the 2 is split into like 5 groups. So you would do 2 times 5.
Well, 5 pieces, not 5 groups, but yes.
Yeah, 5 pieces. So you do 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 1 more equals 11. That would be 11/5. And you do the same thing for 1 and 7/8. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 7 is 15. And you do 15 over 8. And then you would simplify.
Okay. Now, 11 times 15, what does it go? Oh, nobody knows what that is. That fast?
Simplify.
So what can I do to make...
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so what can I do to make this
I just forgot.
a little easier?
You forgot about
What can I do? I heard it from Justin. Go ahead and pass it to Justin for me.
You can do this simplify 5.
Now, I'm not just making 5, 1, and 15, 3. What am I doing to get 1 and 3? What operation are you doing? Well, simplifying is not an operation. Like add, subtract, multiply, divide, okay? And you're dividing by what? And how did you pick 5 as your number? Good. It can go in evenly to 15 and 5. Now, 11 times 3, what does that go? That's a lot easier. All right, 33 and 1 times 8? 8. All right, and how many holes do I have if I have 33 eighths?
4.
And those 4 holes represent how much?
Oh, 32 eighths.
Those 4 holes represent 32 eighths. So how many more eighths do I have?
1 8.
Okay. Now, just as a proof for you guys, so not to do, and you don't have to write this down. I just need to see I just need to get your attention. If I have 2 and 1/5 times 1 and 7/8, and I multiply 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 times 7 is 7, and 5 times 8 is 40, I get 2 and 7/40. Does that seem reasonable? No, because 1 and 7/8, is that closer to 1 or closer to 2? 2. That's pretty close to 2. So I'm doing 2 times 2, and I should get what answer? What's 2 times 2? 4. But I only got 2 and 7/40. And I only got 2 and 7/40 because I didn't multiply the 2 with the 7/8 or the 1 with the 1/5. Okay.